Hello, today's all about constructing with lines. This activity is for 7 to 18-year-olds, and there's a separate activity for early years between the age of 4 and 7. That's a separate video. So we're going to make shapes with straight lines, except some of them will be curved. Ooh, how does that work? So we're going to straight lines and circles, see how it works. So the activity is in the description above. I'm just going to very quickly see if I can share so that we've got more people. So we can get as many people as possible. And it just is a little bit tedious sometimes to get that going. But in the meantime, you need to get a ruler. Depending how old you are, obviously, a ruler, a protractor. I've got a bit of cardboard, and I've made some needles and some wool, whatever resonates for you. And I've got a hole punch, which I've got a corkscrew, improvising, and I've got some wool, and I've got a compass. So whichever one of those you can come up with. And also another way of making circles is using paper clips. So we're going to make circles, we're going to make straight lines, and I'm going to just get you started. And once you're started, let me just see if we've now got what I need to. Ooh. Yeah, it's not happening. So, right, never mind that. Don't want to waste your time. I can only do the, oh yeah, there it is, share. I'm going to share just so that more people can see the video if we're lucky. If we're very lucky. It's all very bonkers. It's all lovely and bonkers. All this lovely modern technology. My dream is to have a technical person with me at all times to take care of all this stuff, so I don't have to be faffing with it while you guys are watching. But anyway, in the meantime, remember, get a ruler. If you've got a protractor, and get a straw so we can make a needle, get some cardboard, get something to draw with, and then now I can play that, and then I can see your comments. So this is what I want to do. I want to be able to see your comments, and it doesn't always come up in time for me to be able to do that. So I think we're in good shape. Now, put the link in the description so that we've got the activity. Okay, so download the activity. So after we've done the live, then download the activity. And there's things for all different ages there, including the early years, although I will do a separate live on the early years. Brilliant. Okay, good to go. So now in theory, I can get my visualizer going, because this is all about you seeing what I'm doing. Share screen. There's my visualizer. Oh, I love my visualizer. Here we go. Okie dokie, look at that. I love this bit of cardboard that I found. It's we're going to be using that over the weekend to do jump frog. And my goodness, that's a funny looking sight there. Is that better? And that's much better. There we go. So those are the bits that you're going to need. I do have my compass over here. You don't need to use all these things, but it's all about investigating. It's all about exploring. And I'm just going to get you started on a few different activities, and we'll take it from there. I'll let you take it from there. Right, now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the main activity. So the main activity, like the general activity that everybody can do, is constructing with lines. Now, can you see? I've been punching lines in, let me see what you can see. Been punching lines, holes here, across here. So we want to make a square where I'm just using grown-ups, obviously, do this. You can use an awl, like I think, to punch holes in, like get the wood, a screw started in wood, that sort of thing. I'm using a corkscrew, but children, grown-ups can help you do this. And then you make a whole square, make it, you can use a set square or a protractor to draw a nice square, and then so you can use this using some wool. And if you don't have a needle that's big enough, then what you can do is, I'm gonna model it again, but I make needles with, I like the color orange, huh? Needles with piece of straw, and the way I do it is I create the tip of the needle, the pointy part of the needle here, and start cutting it down. You see where that crease is? That makes it super easy to just along that crease. Don't wait to cut it all off. That actually makes it really hard. I'm not going to do it straight at the top because then it's not strong enough. But I cut out a bit there, and then you've got a nice wide entrance for your wool. And then just cut the rest of it, more or less cutting the straw in half. And this way, if you've got any existing straws because I don't use straws anymore, but the straws I've got, I use to make things that, because they exist already, so I'm using them to make things like this, which are multi-use, and then dispose of them carefully, obviously, if they ever break. So now I've got 2 needles here. So thread the wool on, and you'll follow the same instructions. The instructions are in the activity pack. And I'm going to do it now, though, with pen and paper instead of my brain will kick in any second now. So what I'm going to do is use the guidelines here. I'm going to make a super small one, and then I'm not being very accurate here. Actually, this one's better because I can line that up and use that as a bit of a set square there, and then make sure that you can do it much more accurately than this. I'm just doing this to demonstrate for you. So what did I do? 10, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the idea is you make a whole square, and you can make lots of different patterns. You can Google it and find lots of other patterns. But what you do, and you can do this with wool, and you can choose all kinds of different colored wool. You can make proper art with this. You're going to make some amazing art using all kinds of different colors. But what you do is, all I'm doing, as you can see, is drawing straight lines. Every single line here is completely straight. There are no curves at all. And this can be fascinating for people of all ages. My brother got really into this when he was about 16, and he started making all kinds of art with this. And he didn't realize he was doing maths. He just loved making the most amazing patterns, and he used them as gifts. So he put them on felt, and what he did is put nails. So covered wood with felt, different colored felt, then hammered nails in, and he made all kinds of different art. So look at that. There you go. So it looks like a curve, but it's not a curve. So that's the essence of that activity. You can do it with wool or on paper. And different ages can do it at different levels, but it's lovely and fascinating. If you look at the activity, you will see a few different, as I say, Google it as well, and on YouTube you'll find lots of lovely things to do with it. Now, the next little bit is quite interesting. So I'm going to use my compass. Now, this is an investigation of, you can use a plate, you can use different sized plates. I've got this thing you can use, and you can just use a smaller plate and a bigger plate. But what's fascinating about this is that if you just do 2 random circles, what we're going to do is we're going to draw tangents. So we're going to draw tangents. Can you see? And I just need to make sure you can see everything I've got here. Yep, cool. We're going to draw a tangent. What a tangent is it's going to just basically follow, just at that point on the circle, it's going to be exactly the angle, as it were, exactly on that circle is what we're going to follow. So now we're going to take from there and we're going to do the same here. We're going to, so it's going to join that, and then wherever it ends up. And then that, and that point there, wherever it ends up. So you're touching the outer circle and the inner circle, and wherever it ends up. So what do you think is going to happen? What do you think it's going to look like? So let's see. And do you think we're ever going to end up in the same place as we started? We want to end up back there again, don't we? That's where we started. Let's keep going around. Now this again is an investigation. So you can test different sized circles. So the ratio between the radius or the diameter of the inner circle and the outer circle it affects what shape you can make. Right, I'm going to let you continue that and see at what point you get back to that initial starting point. Now, so that's a nice summer project. That's a nice project. You can just keep investigating different things, and you can do it by trial and error, or if you're an older learner, you can actually do it by calculating it. And there are templates in the activity pack so that you can so that you don't have to draw the circles, and those templates might help you do some very interesting shapes. So draw your own too, use the templates, and come up with your own ideas about why it's working. Okay, so now for what we're looking at here, I use the word tangent. So that word means that's much better. I'm reading what it says here now. It says it just touches the inner circle. So just touching the inner circle, as you can see, you're joining the outer circle on the circumference of the outer circle, and it just touches the inner circle. And so that's using the language that you need to know for lower secondary, which is between the ages of about 11 and 14. And then you can again make the different patterns using the make a square, or you can make rectangles. You can see what other shapes you can make. I've seen all kinds of different shapes, hearts and all kinds of things. Just depends on what you do for the outer circle. Now I'm going to change the screen so that you're now looking at stop share. And now, hello, how are you? I'm now going to share this one. Now we're looking at a bookshelf. Now this activity is suitable for upper secondary. So that is between the ages of 14 to 18. And again, we're looking at tangent lines, and this is a practical application. So if you see here, this is basically a hallway. We've got this bookshelf, and we've got to get this bookshelf. It's so tall that it just about touches the ceiling, which means that, well, I'll let you work out what that means. It touches the ceiling. So the only way you can move it is by keeping it horizontal and curving it round. So the question is, and yes, the depth might matter, how deep the bookshelf is. What is the widest bookshelf you can fit, and the depth does matter, around a corridor, which you can't demolish the walls, you've stuck with what you've got, so you've got to work out how wide and how deep the bookshelf has to be. And do we have what parameters? Well, you can work out your own parameters, but here we've got so what we've got here, we're looking at that being 2 meters. So if we've got the bookshelf there, when it actually goes round, we're looking at that being 2 meters. So we need to determine the size of the bookshelf. And it's all here. Oh, look at those exciting things. Oh, look at those. Oh, that's very exciting. You can make those perhaps if you download and print out the circles that are in the activity pack. So yeah, so this is it's the same principle. You're effectively making a curve using straight lines. So you're starting with the bookshelf like this, and then you're curving it round the corridor. So this will help you. You can actually calculate some time if you want to buy a bookshelf and you've got to get it into your bedroom. You'll be able to work out whether or not you'll be able to get it down the corridor. Now, I don't know about you, but I buy things at IKEA. And when I buy things at IKEA, they're flat packed. So sometimes I have to actually take everything out of the flat pack in order to get it to where I want it to be, and then build it, and then that's it. It's not going to come out of there anymore. So, right, so what we're doing here is while we're doing any of this, we're using instruments, we're using a protractor, we're using a compass, and we're looking at accuracy. We're using a ruler, and so we're learning how to use instruments accurately, and then we're looking at angles, right angles, acute angles, all kinds of different angles are involved in creating and what we're actually making within this. And this is so how are you going to benefit from this? How's this going to help you in your life? So when you are older, even some of you might be working now, the kind of skills that you need. So us old people, when we first started working, even me, in theory, you could have the same job. I have friends who had the same job their whole life, and then they retired. But these days, it doesn't work like that. A lot of you are going to be entrepreneurs. A lot of you, you have to be up to the big word these days is pivot. You have to be able to pivot, and which means things change. Like just recently with the COVID, you have to be able to change and do different things, do things differently. So all of these activities are helping you if you can be creative with today's activity. Find your own ideas of how to apply it. That's all about creativity. So when people say that people that are good at maths aren't good at art, or people that are good at art aren't good at maths, it's absolutely not true. My favorite thing is STEAM: science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics, that's STEM. Well, if you add art in there, science, technology, engineering, art and mathematics, To me, that it's self-esteem. For me, creativity puts the power into STEM. And you have to be creative. Even if you're not inventing something for the first time, it's the first time you're looking at it. And if you're creative with it, then that gives you lots of practice in doing some really amazing things. So being creative, innovative, applying your things you know, and creating your own ideas with it. And you're looking at interpreting and creating visual images. So visualization, and that's all, it's all creativity. And then use your own independent learning to practice doing things with your hands. And that's really important as well. And the skill of measuring and using drawing instruments is something that you can use throughout your whole life, whether it's been designing some furniture or even just deciding what furniture you want in your home, or you might have projects that you do throughout your life. You don't know what it is you want to do. And if you, the more skills you have, then the more flexibility you have in the things that you can do as a grown-up. So if you are enjoying these lives, please do share them. Please do get, if you're not on Facebook, get somebody else to post on Facebook, on the group Making Maths Fun for Kids of All Ages. And then a big thanks to AIMSEC and the Aiming High website, because all of these activities are projects, they're home learning activities that are on the Aiming High website. So, and they go from all the way from early years, from age 4 to age 18. And there's different activities for different age groups, and everyone can start off with the simple ones and enjoy them because they're still interesting. And then as you mature, or the older you are with your maths, you can keep going as high up as you like with these activities. So, and then also we have the YouTube channels, by the way. So if you either prefer to watch YouTube, or you have a friend who isn't on Facebook, then we've got the YouTube channels, which are the Bubbly Maths YouTube channel, where a lot of these lives are being uploaded. And then we have the Maths Toys YouTube channel, which for the home learning activities on the Aiming High website, we're working on getting a video up for every home learning activity. So please do subscribe to those channels. The links to those are in the pinned post at the top of the Making Maths Fun for Kids of All Ages group. Thank you very much, and I'll see you I'm going to start the live now for the early years, so please do have a look at that if you've got any early years children. Oh, now let's see if we've got any comments. Now, hopefully I did everything I needed to do so that we can see. I'm not feeling very optimistic right now. Oh, maybe. Okay, not sure about that one. Let's see this one. Okay, what have we got? All right, let's at very least, let's, oh, flat pack. Did I not say flat pack? I don't know. Steve Benton came to watch. Thank you. And he says hi from Steve Benton. And Francis, hello, Francis. I'm going to start the early years live in just a few moments. Well, a few minutes. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. You have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.